Hi, Nana. We are continuing with our question bank related to chemical changes and reactions. We are in 16th question. So this 16th question, it is related to fill in the blanks. Okay. So here under 16th question there are four sub questions. When zinc carbonate is heated, the color of residue is dash. See, actually, when zinc carbonate when zinc carbonate, uh, if it is heated, what happens? Any carbonate generally, when heated, what happens? Uh, it loses carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas is liberated. Okay, and what is left over? That metal oxide will be left over. Here, what happened? Zinc oxide is formed. Okay, so that means zinc carbonate when heated it forms zinc oxide and carbon dioxide gas. So the question is when zinc carbonate is heated the color of residue. So what is the residue here? So this is a gas. Generally residue means a solid substance. So this is a solid substance. So this is residue. So what is the residue of what is the residue of zinc carbonate? So zinc oxide. See the color of zinc oxide actually it is yellow. It is yellow in color when it is under hot condition. But if it is cool, then it is converted into white color. So here the question is when it is heated. So that means under hot conditions only. What is the color of zinc oxide? It is yellow in color. Okay. So what is the answer? Yellow. Okay. Because under hot conditions it is asked. Okay. When it is heated means under hot condition it is yellow. Suppose if it is cooled, then it will convert into white color. Next, so when sodium nitrate is being heated, the gas evolved is sodium nitrate. See, generally NaNO3 or KNO3, NaNO3 or KNO3, even KNO3 also, potassium nitrate also. What happens when heated? When heated, first it melts. The solid will become molten. So NaNO3, so molten or else a liquid form it forms, and upon further heating what happens? It will break down and forms a sodium nitrite, NaNO2, sodium nitrate, and oxygen gas is evolved. Okay, suppose here the balanced equation will be like this. Okay, sodium nitrite and oxygen gas is evolved. So this is the residue and this is the gas. So here in the question, so the gas evolved is what? Which gas? Oxygen. So the gas evolved is oxygen. Oxygen. Okay. Right. Next question. When piece of calcium is dropped in water, it becomes cloudy after some time due to the formation of. See, calcium is a highly reactive metal. Suppose into water, suppose this is water, into this water if you drop a piece of calcium, so the piece of calcium will sink, it will sink to the bottom. Okay, after sinking to the bottom what happens? This calcium, that piece of calcium will react with the water. So it forms a calcium hydroxide with water and a hydrogen gas is evolved. Okay, so due to the formation of a substance known as calcium hydroxide, so which is white in color, what happens? The solution, so here the solution which is which surrounds this one will turn white. So that is why it becomes cloudy. So this the solution will become cloudy. Okay, cloudiness is due to the formation of calcium hydroxide. That means it does not it is not clear. It because of the presence of calcium hydroxide, so it becomes cloudy. It is not a now it won't be transparent, or else it won't be clear solution. It will be cloudy. Okay, so white color solution is formed. So due to the formation of what? Calcium hydroxide. Okay, calcium hydroxide. So this is a suspension. See, it is not a solution because calcium hydroxide it does not dissolve completely. It forms a suspension. So it is not a true solution. So due to the formation of calcium hydroxide, it is calcium hydroxide suspension, calcium hydroxide solution, not a calcium hydroxide solution. It is a calcium hydroxide suspension. Formation of calcium hydroxide suspension. Answer is calcium hydroxide suspension is formed. If it is a solution, then it will be clear solution. But this is suspension. Where suspensions cannot be transparent or else cannot be clear. So as it is a suspension, it appears to be cloudy. The solution appears to be cloudy. So if something is kept at the bottom, so that cannot be visible clearly because of cloudiness. As it is suspension, so it is cloudy, and the substance, when any substance is kept at the bottom, so we cannot see that substance clearly. Okay, right. So what is formed here? A suspension of calcium hydroxide is formed during this reaction. Okay, next. So in the 16th question there is one more sub question. We will learn that also. What is another question? When aqueous iron 3 chloride, when aqueous iron 3 chloride, okay, when aqueous iron 3 chloride and aqueous caustic soda and aqueous caustic soda, okay, are mixed, okay, so the color of precipitate is dash. The color of precipitate is dash. Okay, so here in the question, so what are mixed? Aqueous solution of iron chloride and aqueous solution of caustic soda. Aqueous solution of iron 3 chloride. Iron 3 chloride means FeCl3. It's aqueous solution. Okay, and what is the other aqueous solution? Caustic soda. Caustic soda means NaOH. Caustic soda. Suppose if it is KOH, then it is said to be caustic potash. But here in the question it is asked caustic soda. Okay, NaOH. So this is also aqueous solution. When two such aqueous solutions are mixed, what happens? They exchange their radicals. See, actually Fe is in the form of +3 and every chlorine will be in the form of minus. Okay, so this contains what? Fe +3 ions and Cl- ions in this aqueous solution, and here in this aqueous solution you will find Na plus ions and OH minus ions. There are hundreds of sodium ions and hundreds of OH minus ions, and several hundreds of Fe +3 ions and several hundreds of chloride ions are present in this solution. So when these two are mixed, what happens? They exchange their radicals. Okay, the cation of this substance will take anion from this substance. So what is this anion? So that means Fe plus 3 will take OH minus. Every Fe plus 3 will take 3 OH minus, because there are 3 negative charges and 3 positive charges will get balanced. Okay, so and here there are 3 chloride ions. So this every sodium ion will take only 1 chloride ion. So as there are 3 chloride ions, so there are several hundreds of sodium ions in the solution. Okay, so like this they form NaCl. Okay, so like this, if you balance, what happens? FeCl3 will take a OH and forms FeOH taken thrice. FeOH taken thrice. It is a reddish brown color precipitate. Okay, it is a reddish brown colored precipitation of ferric hydroxide is formed, and along with this sodium chloride aqueous solution is formed. Okay, aqueous solution of sodium chloride. So like this, here the question is, what is the color of the precipitate? So this is the precipitate. Precipitate means insoluble substance. So when these two substances, this is FeCl3 solution, FeCl3 aqueous solution, it is a clear solution. And what is the other one? NaOH, sodium hydroxide aqueous solution, NaOH. Okay, take another empty test tube and pour this one and even this one also into this one, into this empty test tube. So what happens? So here we are mixed these two substances. When these two substances are mixed, so this reaction takes place. Okay, and due to this, what happened? Due to the reaction between these two substances, what happened? So a reddish brown colored precipitate is formed, insoluble substance is formed, and that is what? So that is what? FeOH taken thrice, ferric hydroxide. So the question is, what is the color of the precipitate? So the color of the precipitate is reddish brown. Okay, so like this the question will go. Okay, right. FeOH taken thrice, ferric hydroxide. It is a reddish brown colored substance. So now the 17th question. In aqueous, here in the equations given below, state giving reasons whether substance printed in bold have been oxidized or reduced. So here in 17th question there are two equations. So one equation is PbO plus CO. So this is given in bold letters. Okay, bold letters. And the equation it is like this: Pb plus CO2, and there is another equation H2S plus Cl2. Here also this is also given in bold. Okay, it forms 2HCl plus sulfur. So here the question is, so in these reactions, whether the bolded printing substance is oxidized or reduced. So we have to tell whether this one is oxidized or reduced, and even this one is also whether it is oxidized or reduced. So now here what is happened? This carbon monoxide it is converted into carbon dioxide. So that means one oxygen is added to this substance. As addition of oxygen is taken place, so that means this carbon monoxide is said to be oxidized. Carbon monoxide is oxidized because oxygen is given to this carbon monoxide during this reaction, and this is converted into carbon dioxide. So oxygen is gained by carbon monoxide, hence that carbon monoxide is said to be oxidized. Okay. In the same way, chlorine. See, chlorine is taking it is taking hydrogens. So chlorine is addition of hydrogen is taking place to chlorine. So addition of hydrogen is said to be reduction. So that means chlorine is reduced. Chlorine is reduced. Okay, it is reduced. So because by taking hydrogen, chlorine is reduced. Addition of hydrogen is said to be reduction. Okay, so carbon monoxide undergoes reduction. That means it is oxidized. Sorry, carbon monoxide undergoes oxidation. That is, it is oxidized, and chlorine is undergoing reduction. Hence, it is said to be reduced. Okay, remember that carbon monoxide is undergoing oxidation. Hence, it is said to be oxidized, and chlorine is undergoing reduction. Hence, it is said to be reduced. Okay, because chlorine is gaining hydrogen and carbon monoxide is gaining oxygen. As carbon monoxide is gaining oxygen, it is said to be oxidized, and chlorine, as it gaining hydrogen, it is said to be reduced. Okay, so like this, 17th question can be answered. Next, 18th question. What is 18th question? So we have to give two examples of industrial processes involved in oxidation and reduction. Okay. So for oxidation, two examples, and for reduction also, we have to give two examples. Okay. Two examples with industrial processes, related to industrial processes. Okay, let us start with oxidation. So example of industrial process. See, in contact process, there is a process known as contact process. So by this process, sulfuric acid is prepared. Okay, for the preparation of sulfuric acid, there is a special process known as contact process. In this contact process, actually the sulfur dioxide gas, so it is made to react with oxygen. It is oxidized. That means it is oxidized. Sulfur dioxide is oxidized. Okay, to sulfur trioxide. This sulfur trioxide will react with water to form sulfuric acid. So here this is the reaction. So in this reaction, so in order to occur this reaction, so we have to heat this mixture, the mixture of sulfur dioxide and oxygen. We have to heat it to 450 degrees centigrade in the presence of a catalyst known as platinum catalyst. Okay, so by using platinum catalyst, we have to heat this mixture to 450 degrees centigrade. So what happens? This sulfur dioxide will react with oxygen, and it gets oxidized into sulfur trioxide. Okay. So if you balance this, you will get this balance equation like this. So this is one example. One more example for oxidation, industrial example. So actually, in a process known as Ostwald's process. Ostwald's process. So this is a process to prepare nitric acid, HNO3, nitric acid. So nitric acid is prepared by this method. sorry, here actually Oswald's method, it's nitric oxide is formed. Nitric oxide is formed. So here what happens is ammonia gas, it is oxidized. It is made to react with oxygen, okay, and forms nitric oxide, and water is formed. Nitric oxide and water is formed. Okay, so here, even here also, the catalyst used is platinum, but here the temperature is very high, nearly 800 degrees centigrade. So we have to heat to 800 degrees centigrade, okay, to form this, okay. But this is a reversible reaction. This is a reversible reaction. So if you balance this, so we will get the balanced equation like this. Okay, so this is one example, and this is another example for the reaction which involve oxidation. So here ammonia is oxidized to nitric oxide, sulfur dioxide is oxidized to sulfur trioxide. Okay, so these two processes are very important industrial processes. Okay, now we will learn the industrial processes related to reduction reactions. For example, in the preparation of iron in blast furnace, there is a furnace. In blast furnace, what we will do? We will add Fe2O3. Okay, this is oxide of iron. When it is made to react with coke, what happens? This coke means carbon. So this carbon will take oxygens from this iron oxide. This is called as ore. Okay, so from this ore, iron is prepared. In the preparation of iron from iron oxide, what happens? So here this carbon is involved. So this iron oxide, it is losing oxygen. Okay, any substance, if it loses oxygen, it is said to be undergoing reduction. So this is an example for reduction process. So iron oxide, it loses oxygen. So to whom it loses? It is losing oxygen. It is losing its oxygen to carbon. Hence this carbon will take this carbon monoxide, or else carbon will take these oxygens to form carbon monoxide. So 2 iron and 3 carbon monoxide are formed. So we have to heat this to nearly 700 to 1000 degrees centigrade around. That means we have to heat it to above 700 degrees centigrade. We have to heat it. Simply we can tell. So we have to heat to it about this mixture. We have to heat it to above 700 degrees centigrade. Right. So this is coke, and this is what? This is ferric oxide. This is called as ferric oxide. So this is one example. Another example. So in industries, for the production of iron, so this reaction, it is generally this reaction will run. Okay, they run this reaction. Next, when steam is reduced by red hot coke, when steam is sent onto coke which is heated to red hot coke, this carbon or else coke is heated to red hot, and when steam is passed onto red hot coke, so reaction takes place between these two. So carbon will take this carbon will take oxygens and hydrogen is left over. So this water is losing oxygen to carbon, hence carbon will form carbon monoxide, and water is losing after loss of oxygen, so that water will convert into hydrogen. So here loss of oxygen is taking place. So loss of oxygen is called as reduction. So this water, it is undergoing reduction into hydrogen. So that means after reduction, this water is converted into hydrogen. Okay, so like this, uh, this is this is another example. So the mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. So this mixture is said to be water gas. This is most important. The mixture is said to be water gas. Okay, right. Next question is 19th question. So here in 19th question, we have to give one example for each of the following types of changes in aqueous solution. So give one example. Give uh, one example each uh, each type of changes taking place in aqueous solution. Each type of changes taking in aqueous solution. Okay, right. So we will give one examples. So first one is oxidation of salt of a metal. Oxidation of a salt of a metal. So here, when a salt of a metal is undergoing oxidation in aqueous solution, so we have to give one example to that one. For example, take FeCl2. So in FeCl2, iron will be in the form of +2. Iron will be in the form of +2. So what happens? So this will react with chlorine. When FeCl2 reacts with chlorine, so what happens? It converts into FeCl3. It becomes FeCl3. So in this ferric chloride, this is ferrous chloride, this is ferric chloride. So conversion of ferrous into ferric is said to be oxidation. Generally, when S ion is converted to ic ion, when S ion is converted to ic ion, then the reaction is said to be oxidation reaction. So here ferrous is converted to ferric ion. That means ferrous chloride is converted to ferric chloride. Upon addition of chlorine to this one. Okay, so here chlorine is a non-metal. What is oxidation? Oxidation is nothing but addition of oxygen or addition of non-metal or removal of hydrogen or removal of electron. Okay, so removal of electron is also oxidation. So here what is happening? Iron plus 2 is converted into plus 3. Generally plus 2 is converted to plus 3 means, so it is losing one negative charge. Whenever any substance loses its negative charge, then it increases its positive charge, because when negative charge is when negative charge is lost from any substance, then what is left over? Positive charge is left over. So here after losing one electron, it will convert into Fe plus 3. Hence in this term also it is said to be reduction. Okay, addition of non-metal. See, one chlorine, actually it is FeCl2. It is converting into FeCl3. That means chlorine is added. Chlorine is a non-metal. Hence addition of non-metal is taking place. Okay, in this way also it is said to be oxidation reaction. Okay, so that means oxidation of salt. This is a salt, FeCl2. It is a salt. In its aqueous solution, into the aqueous solution of FeCl2, if we pass chlorine gas into this solution, what happens? Reaction takes place between these two and convert into FeCl3. Okay, right. So another example. Another second one we will see. So first one is finished. Now in 19th question there are actually four sub questions. Sub question 1 we finished. Next sub question 2, that means B, question number B. Reaction of a soluble salt of metal. Reaction of a soluble salt of metal. Okay, metal. So generally metals will form salts. Those salts may be soluble or insoluble, but here we are discussing about the soluble salt of a metal. So when soluble salt of a metal, it is reacted with whom? With dilute acid. With dilute acid. Okay, reaction of a soluble salt of metal with dilute acid to give off what? To give off gas. To give off gas. So example we can write like this. So here we may take any example like sodium sulfide. So this is a salt. This is a soluble salt. Okay, generally all salts of sodium and all salts of potassium are soluble in water, remember. So this is a salt of sodium, hence it is soluble in water. Okay, so soluble salt of sodium metal with HCl, dilute HCl, with dilute HCl, what happens? It forms a sodium chloride. Okay, and H2S gas is evolved. H2S gas is evolved. So here dilute HCl upon balancing will get like this. Okay, so this is the reaction. So this is one example. So actually only one example is asked. We may write so many examples. already we know that any carbonates, generally any carbonates when reacted with dilute acids, what happens? It evolves carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so this is also salt. All carbonates are salts only. So even this generally carbonates like sodium or potassium are soluble in water. So when sodium carbonate which is a soluble salt, when it is reacted with a dilute acid, so it forms what? It forms sodium chloride and carbon dioxide gas is evolved. Okay, so like this, along with this, water is formed. Okay, so like this we can discuss one more example. So we can write so many examples. So here this is a reaction where soluble salt is made to react with the dilute acid. In this process a gas is evolved, right? Next, in 19th question we learn the sub question 3. So what is the sub question 3? The sub question 3 is related to displacement of metal by more active metal. Displacement of metal by more active metal. Okay. Example, generally metal is displaced from its aqueous solution by another active metal. For example, take copper sulfate, aqueous solution of copper sulfate which is blue in color. So if you add iron, so this here actually iron is more active metal than copper metal. So this is less active metal. When less active metal is in the form of salt and it is in its aqueous solution, when this is added to a more active metal, what happens? This more active metal will throw out the less active metal from the solution, and this more active metal will take the place of less active metal. So what happened? So copper sulfate will convert into iron sulfate, and copper is thrown out from the solution. So this is an example for displacement of metal by more active metal. So this metal, it is displaced by more active metal. Okay, so this reaction is said to be displacement reaction. Okay, so copper is thrown out. Next, 19th question, fourth one, precipitation of sulfate. Okay, so give one example where a type of change where in aqueous solution where precipitation of sulfate is formed. Precipitation of sulfate in aqueous solution. For example, take aqueous solution of sodium sulfate. Into the aqueous solution of sodium sulfate, if you add a barium chloride solution, aqueous solution of barium chloride, see both are aqueous solutions only. When both of them are mixed, what happens? So here they exchange their radicals, they undergo double displacement reaction. When aqueous solution of these two substances are mixed, what happens? They react with each other to form a white color precipitate known as barium sulfate. Okay, so here precipitate of sulfate, this is called as barium sulfate. This is a precipitate of sulfate. So like this we can finish this 19th question. So we will learn the other answers in the next video.